building this modded Minecraft island and I want to finish it today. From some angles, it already looks kind of finished, but the back parts are definitely not. Actually, you can kind of see on the map on the top right, there's a bunch of green at the back of the island in this direction. Let me show you what we've got to do. So we've got this whole section of grass over here. I was thinking of turning this into a wheat field, but also we could probably do with the horse stables because we have all these horses hanging around. And then over here next to it, we've got this section next to our animals. And I was going to make kind of like a little barn storehouse over here. We've got all of these banks kind of going around, lining the river, and it turns into a real funky shape over here as well. So I want to trim a lot of this off, I think. Like there's no reason why we need this weird bit jutting out here. And then looping back around to this side, obviously we need to finish this wall. And clearly I was planning some kind of garden or trees or something to go here because I've kind of wrapped granite around this patch of grass. And then we come back into civilization and everything over here is done. Okay, but if we're being methodical, let's start with this portion of the island. So we might want a bit of it to be a sandy beach. And then over here, we need to gather more stone and build out these walls. Fortunately, we have our brand new mines building to make it really easy to just go gather some stone. So let's do that. Wait, what the heck is this? This must be modded. I've never seen this block before. It's like a copper, condensed piece of copper. Why am I struggling to talk? A block of raw copper, it says. Wait, that's actually so cool. It's kind of pretty. One moment, we need to decorate with this. The weird copper goes... not there. I need a spot for it where it's not just kind of floating. Maybe just like here. No, that's still weird. You know, maybe it just has to be weird. There we go. It's fine. We're getting too distracted. So after collecting the stone, I did start working on this area and completed this whole side of the island along the coast. Okay, so I ended up with this beachy zone. The wall is done, and then I started going around here with kind of like a rocky cliffside. I just wanted to get this area shaped out so that we could start building over here. So I think what we're going to do with this back section is a smallish build over here, and then the rest of it can be wheat. Since this is our kind of farming zone, as you can hopefully tell from the cows. So let's start planning out a little build over here in this back corner. Actually, maybe we go like here. So that is a 7x7, and then say we have a little doorway in the middle. And then maybe we have a little horse stables coming off the side. Maybe just 2 pens. I think we've got 2 horses hanging around here. So this will be perfect. I think we'll do the building here 2 stories so it can be a little bit tall, and then the horse pens can kind of come off it a little bit shorter. But we'll just go for our kind of normal color palette of stripped spruce with birch and then of course pink. Let's get this built. And I think this is looking really cute, and it's going to be perfect to put these 2 horses in. Let's check that we have saddles, or at least 1 saddle, so we can get them both in the pen and of course tame them. Oh, also, just hearing this cat meow, I just remembered that we have this. So this cat off camera got stuck in this minecart, so I decided to tame it, and I thought we'd put it in our cat cafe, along with all the other cats. I don't think we have this type yet. Wait, where'd it go? Wait, why is the minecart disappearing behind me? And it's such a long tunnel, I'm totally gonna make another minecart. How did it even end up in there? It should have been following me. So annoying. And here we go. Runaway cat. Wait. No. Ugh. You know what? No, not you two. I'm going in the minecart. And you are following me. Come on, cat. Ah, okay. And now the minecart's going without us. Everything is fine. We can just... Oh, there's a minecart. But to make sure the cat follows us, we can just climb up here. It's totally fine. I love exercise. I love hills. And here we are. We have a new addition to the cat cafe. Come on. There you go. What was I actually doing again? Oh yeah, saddles. Horses. Okay, horse number 1. who has annoyingly ended up down at the beach. And there they are. And while we're on the topic of horses, someone in the comments wanted me to name my other horse Maisie, and we have a name tag, so why not? Oh, mine's horse. Are you still in here? Oh, hello. You are dubbed Maisie. Very cute. But getting back on with this area, I want to turn this into a wheat field and I want a path running through it. I was thinking a kind of organic path going all the way to this door. And we'll use coarse dirt, which I've gathered some of here. But let's start by just getting this path all shaped out and getting it in. Stop! I was using dirt. Look, this is coarse dirt, this is dirt. There's a slight difference. I'm so silly. What am I doing? Okay, this needs to not be in my hotbar, and this needs to be in my hotbar. Look, it's a Monday morning. The brain is still just waking up. And now we can go along a nice path. But let's make some crop fields. So we want a temporary little infinite water source. And we go like so. And let's get this going. And here we have it, the little country wheat field at the back of our island leading up to our horse ranch. It's looking very cute and it's completely finished off this back corner of the island nicely. Everything's all rounded off here. We don't have quite enough seeds to fill every single gap yet, but we are getting there. I'm just kind of working on harvesting and replanting. And that really does mean that the only spot left to work on our island is this back area, which I did decide to extend the wheat field over here. So we'll have to keep working on that. And I already had this building outline, which I wanted to just be like a little storehouse full of hay bales, which is going to be easy because we've got all this wheat from our replanting. But this area and the spot behind it is all we really have left to do. So let's start working on this building. As soon as I finished that, I ended up moving on to the area around the back of the building. I made some of it into a beach and built a wall around the castle towers. And now, coming up the steps, this is where we're at. So we have our little storehouse for the wheat for our animals. It looks like this on the inside. It's pretty plain, and then this is the outside. And I hear, yep, a wandering trader in our wheat field. I feel like this guy and his llamas are gonna trample all of my wheat. I don't do this often, but you're in a bad spot. You guys get tied up. Ow. They were hitting each other there for a moment. I won't kill the llamas though. Never. Anyway, so we've got this storehouse, we've got this wall going around at the back of here, and then I made kind of a gateway through here, which leads to this beach we've got, and we have all of this to deal with. So I've been thinking about what to do with that last patch of grass. I actually feel like some more wheat might do it. I know we already have a wheat field, but from a more distant view, it can look kind of balanced if there's yellow on both sides of the island. Let's have a little look. So if we turn around here, we can't see anything because it's raining. Okay, but you see what I mean? There's yellow here, maybe some yellow could go over there. And I also just want to texture this wall a little bit. And one final push, let's just finish off this back section and I'll be back with the results. And here it is, all done, the final finished piece of the island. Wait, why is there a horse? They just keep spawning, I swear. But we've got this little wheat field, it just goes all the way down, and around here we've just got a couple of trees planted. Obviously I finished off this wall and that is it. Every single inch of this island is complete. I would love to do a little brief tour of the island before we finish up because this does mark the end of this series. My goal was to do this island and, well, we've done it. From our humble starter house to everything we ended up building around it, I am pretty proud of this island, honestly. I've never made anything quite so developed looking, I guess. But let's just, well, first of all, we'll have a little sleep in a second and then have a little look around. So we did begin our world with this little house here and we did have the nether portal in from episode 1. I kind of had a goal to do the dragon really fast, so we did need that. We've also got this little beach on the side which was built out later, but if we come over here, For episode 2, we had this fountain, which does have the dragon egg on top, because we did the dragon in episode 2, which was definitely a first for me. This guy's been living in here for like a very long time. He's definitely getting rusty. But after building the fountain, we went over here and built our town hall, which has a lot of our villagers in it, but it also has Mayor Pumpkin Soup. Took a second for me to remember his name, but he is in there. But honestly, just zooming out for a second in free cam, I think the town hall is possibly my favorite build on this island. But from there, we started building in this area I'm standing in. We made this little villager apartments alongside the docks, and then this fishing hut as well. It's kind of hard to get a good view, but basically the entire front of the island, just from all over here to here. Of course, after completing the docks, we moved over to this side and made our storage building, which has been very useful, honestly. There's been plenty of storage in here, lots of room for activities. But if we come along this way, there's just a little bit more beach along here. It's pretty simple. And then along this side, first of all, we have this alleyway here, which I ended up just making a little fishy market stall in here. But if we come over here, we've also got our little mines entrance, which is just like a little bus stop or train station, you could say, and a minecart that goes all the way down to our zombie XP farm through this kind of lush cave tunnel. But then if we come around this side, we kind of did our last bit of building that's on this kind of lower piece of land, and then the rest is all upstairs. And that is our cat cafe, which looks kind of funny. It has a big cat head on it, but I think it's cute. And to the side, we just have kind of more decorative areas, more beaches, some palm trees. Okay, but coming back past the cat cafe and over here, we've got the back garden of the cat cafe with a view of our little kitty cats. But if we go up here, all of this is what we worked on next. And wow, I love this area. I love how floral it is. This is maybe my favorite spot on the island. But I started with working on these big towers, which is primarily for our enchanting setup. Let's go in and have a little look. But then if we come over here and upstairs, that is how we get to our enchanting setup, which is in here. Honestly, I don't think I've really needed this since building it, unfortunately. But it's there and it's cute if we need it. There's also a little area on the other side of the towers. So if we come through here, and if you can make it all the way up and across, you end up in the restricted section of the library. Just because it's kind of hard to get to, I thought it'd be cute. But if we fly back down here, we've of course got our little gardens and ponds out the front. And then I decided to make this into a little gardener's cottage. Since we do have so many gardens around here, we've got all of our tall flowers over here. But anyway, if we come over here, next I ended up working on our little farming and mining district, which is kind of this entire back corner. And we started with our animals, so we've got our cows over here, but we also have our chickens, sheep, and pigs all around here as well. Where's our... wait, there's our chickens. Oh, and there's our sheep. I'm sorry, cow. And then we just kind of have this house area above for no particular reason. It's kind of set out like an office and then storage, so it's kind of a commercial farm. And then of course, aside from animals, the other part of farming is crops. So we have all of our crops here aside from wheat. We have modded crops like onions and tomatoes, as well as just beetroot and carrots. And I just kind of put off doing the wheat because I knew that I wanted an entire separate wheat field, which is of course what we did today. But before we go over there, this is our kind of fantasy inspired mines building. So I ended up doing a kind of staircase going all the way down to deep slate level here, just for ease of access for our mines, and then decorating this with different ores. And if we come out of the mines building, we can go over here, but it doesn't actually really lead to anything except a staircase back down. So we will head back over this way. And this is where we get to everything we were working on today. I did add a couple of these jacaranda trees as well though. But we have our little wheat field, we have our horse stables, and then of course through here, that's not really the way to go, to be honest. We should probably go over this way. Over here, we have our little wheat storage house. And then of course, as you guys have just seen, our island continues back over here. We've got our little wall, there's kind of the archway between the towers, which goes through here, and more wheat, of course. Gotta feed everyone somehow. I just love this island though. I loved building it up. I think it's got everything a simple Minecraft base could need all in one spot. And I hope you guys really enjoyed coming along for the ride. Let's do a final little free cam. I'm definitely going to miss working on this, although it is kind of a lot more work than a lot of my other worlds. just with all of the little in-between areas, but it is totally worth it. So if you guys haven't done something like this with lots of pathing and details, I would totally recommend it. But that will be the end of this series, so thank you so much for watching. Be sure to check out my other series in Minecraft movies if you want to see more, and I will hopefully see you in the next video. Bye bye!